A determined, intimidatory series of attacks on British Jews, says the head of the Met Police. Petrol bombs thrown at synagogues. Jewish charity ambulances worth £1 million set alight. The names of rabbis put online in threatening posts.
I'm Lucy Manning, the BBC's special correspondent, and I've been investigating these attacks.
All claimed by Harakat Ashab al-Yamin al-Islamia, which translates as the Islamic movement of the people of the right hand.
It's a group no one had really heard of until recently. So is Iran, as counter-terrorism police are investigating, behind it?
Looks for all the world like ultimately these attacks are emanating from somewhere within Iran or entities close to the Iranian state.
Dave Rich works for the Community Security Trust, an organisation that helps protect British Jews.
The logo and the language they use is resonant of Iranian Shia Islamism, but more importantly, these claims are appearing on Telegram channels that are very closely associated with IRGC or other Iranian or pro-Iranian entities. And sometimes these claims are appearing literally within minutes of the arson attacks happening. So there seems to be a very short chain of communication between the people doing things on the ground here and the people announcing them from somewhere in the Middle East.
Around 300,000 Jews live in Britain, with London, Hertfordshire, Manchester and Leeds having the biggest populations.
For years, schools, synagogues and community centres have been protected behind gates and walls with security patrols, an unwelcome fact of life for British Jews. Then came the Heaton Park synagogue attack in Manchester, where 2 worshippers were killed last year on the holiest day of the Jewish year, Yom Kippur. Now, Jewish buildings are being firebombed. In March, CCTV captured hooded men torching 4 ambulances belonging to a Jewish charity in a synagogue car park in Golders Green, one of the main Jewish areas in North London.
No one was hurt, but the targeting of a Jewish medical organisation outside a synagogue spread fear across the community. The video, verified by the BBC, shows statements in Arabic, English and Hebrew. It also shows a map of the area and then the synagogue car park where the fire took place, and then footage from the fire itself. The video makes claims about the synagogue and an affiliated rabbi's links to Zionism, the support for a Jewish state of Israel.
Less than a month later, more attacks followed in neighbouring areas. Also in the middle of the night, men in balaclavas threw a brick and 2 bottles at the Finchley Reform Synagogue. Later that day, a petrol bomb was hurled into the car park of a Persian-language dissident media organisation in Wembley. 2 days after that, 2 jars containing a non-hazardous powdered substance were found in Kensington Gardens in West London near the Israeli embassy, after the group claimed they'd used radioactive materials. Over the same weekend, the former offices of a Jewish charity in Hendon and the Kenton United Synagogue in Harrow were also targeted in what the police said were attempted arsons.
These attacks seem to be carried out mostly by quite young, kind of low-level criminal people who don't have any particular ideological affiliation with Iran or with Islamist extremist groups. There's a common playbook that Iran and other hostile states have used in many different circumstances around the world.
The group's videos on Telegram, which often claim responsibility for attacks or warn of future ones, have been short and generally low in quality. There's still a lot we don't know about how they operate.
And 2 of these channels seem to belong to Iraqi militias that are pro-Iran, and some seem or appear to be sort of news channels that feature heavily pro-Iranian coverage.
So far, counter-terror police have made more than 20 arrests. Most of those charged have been teenagers. One, a 17-year-old, pleaded guilty to throwing a petrol bomb at Kenton United Synagogue. He claimed he didn't know what the building was and didn't hate Jews.
It has emerged in other countries that Iran has effectively used social media, different platforms, to recruit people in different countries to do all sorts of things for them, whether that's carrying out attacks or collecting intelligence that might be useful for future attacks.
Perpetrators are quite young, I think as young as 14 up to 19, and which again resembles the previous recruitment of Iran. And the other thing we know that, especially in the case of France, the perpetrators were recruited online, apparently via Snapchat, for money.
The Islamist group has claimed a series of attacks across Europe. A synagogue in the Belgian city of Liège was damaged in an explosion, just over a week after the Iran war broke out. 3 separate attacks in the Netherlands took place in the days that followed, including a fire at a synagogue in Rotterdam and an explosion at a Jewish school in Amsterdam. In the subsequent weeks, there were more attempts on Jewish community and commercial targets linked to Israel. In Belgium, France, the Netherlands, Germany and North Macedonia, fortunately none resulted in major damage.
I think it's quite a challenge for the authorities. Effectively, Iran, they can use a particular criminal network in one country to carry out attacks. If that network is broken up and prosecuted by the authorities, they can just try and pay someone else.
Iran does have proxy groups, military organisations that support Iran and are funded by Iran but carry out their own attacks, like the Houthis in Yemen and Hezbollah, a political and military group in Lebanon, which is prescribed as a terror organisation by the UK government.
But this is different, mirroring a technique Russia used 2 years ago when a private military group that acts on its behalf paid British people to carry out arson attacks in the UK. The Swedish security service has accused Iran of recruiting gang members, particularly young teenagers, to attack Iranian dissidents and Israeli-linked companies.
The police have now put more officers, including armed ones, onto the streets to protect Jewish communities. But could more be done to stop the threat?
The IRGC, Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, is a powerful arm of the Iranian state. There have been calls for the UK government to add it to its list of prescribed terror organisations. That would make it a criminal offence to belong to or support it.
When are you, after 2 years of promising, going to prescribe the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, and are you going to prescribe this group that's claimed the attack at this synagogue and other places?
We have to deal with malign state actors. That will require legislation, and we're going to bring that legislation forward. It's really important that we do that. I'm increasingly concerned that a number of countries are using proxies for attacks in this country.
The police have arrested 9 people on suspicion of conspiring to carry out a similar attack. So maybe they've made a breakthrough in discovering how the attacks are being organised. But if a foreign state is paying for crimes here, it's a challenge to the government, to policing, and in this case, British Jews and anti-regime Iranians.